Well, we are continuing with our round robin phase in the tournament. We're here at the Captain's Clash Europe, and we have Team Sven against Team Dynouh. Now, this is a best of 3 series. We have no draft rules. Everything goes as usual. And, well, these two teams have one thing in common. They both lost. They both haven't won anything yet. Now, for both of them, it is their second match. So, we'll see which team walks away with the victory here. I explained the tournament format a little bit in the previous matches, but just a quick reminder. We have 6 teams in total. The 6 teams play a full round robin. The top 4 teams then in the standings advance to the playoffs, and the bottom 2 teams, they drop out. Now, the important news or info is that the teams are not, they weren't pre-made, so we're not seeing like the typical, you know, pre-made teams here, but this is like all a captain's draft, so captains were nominated, and then the captains, based on an auction system, drafted their teams. So there's a little bit of a shake-up in who plays with who, makes it a bit less predictable. You're not looking at the teams, you immediately know the power levels, as would be the case if you see Team Rip play, the Enjoyers, the Raccoons, you know, like, so slightly different setup here. Which makes it pretty exciting and also really interesting, and it already caused quite a few upsets, which were very surprising for a lot of people. And yeah, we'll actually see how this is going to play out now, because one of these teams is going to suffer their second loss. And if you are in a 6-team round robin and you lose straight up your first 2 matches, that's a pretty bad sign. That's usually an indicator that you might be struggling getting out of that phase and into the playoffs. So nobody here wants to lose this one. And we'll see. Can Dynouh's team win? Are we going to see a victory for Team Sven? Time will tell. We're kicking things off on Dragonshire. And for now, we got Maiev and Chromie banned out. So did Lunara and Johanna. The fun thing is actually that just previously, before this started, Team Dynouh all played their last match. And I can just assume that Team Sven was glued to their screens and watched it, because they're now directly banned 2 of the heroes that were used by Team Dynouh on Dragonshire in the previous best of 3. Cure played Cure played Lunara at that point, and Bad Benny played Johanna, so both of them are now gone, which forces the team, of course, to change things up a little bit. We have Dehaka and Lucio now taken for Team Sven. And after Kopenhagen picked Blaze, and we got Rhaegar played again by Captain Rax. I'm curious to see what the next picks are going to look like for Team Dynouh. What they're changing in order to do things here. So for now, we got Mirrodin banned out. Don't want to have that dwarf hopping around everywhere. Hopped up on speed or whatnot, and then just quickly get those storm bolts connected. Not only does that guarantee a trip to the dentist, but also most of the time a follow-up and then maybe even a kill. Dehaka, for example, could come in and just go, and then you're gone. So, Sergeant Hammer. Yep. Hammer was already... Wait, what was that Hammer series against Sven earlier? I think it was, right? Yeah. So, maybe even a little bit of Hammer PTSD that we're now seeing from Sven and his team. I wouldn't be surprised there. But let's go. Let's get our next 2 picks. Hanzo Varian. So, you're looking again at a taunt, into a jet propulsion, into a potential Hanzo arrow, and then lots of damage. So, yeah, come in and get a bit of a burst. Very likely Dynouh with a mage again. I mean, that would just make sense. You have your stun your stun comp right there, go for it. Or if they want to go for a triple melee, I suppose they can do that too. Then somebody that gets in a bit more damage in as well. And against Varian, we now all of a sudden have Medivh and Zul main tank. Zul as a main tank. I gotta say, I like this series. So we had some fantastic games. Even the 2-0 games were just spicy as hell. And usually with some massive comebacks. So great tournament so far. Really enjoying this. And with the Zul main tank, definitely interested. Here comes Tracer. And well, that sets us off for game number 1. So once again, guys, we got Team Dynouh going up against Team Sven. Our first map is Dragonshire. So let's jump right into it. The blue team on the left with Azzy on Sylvanas, now that we find ourselves here on Dragonshire. We got Banana H with Lucio, and then Zul played as the main tank from Uki. We need a bit of extra support for that, obviously, which we're getting with Cesar and Medivh. And then you have Sven on the side lane, the captain of the team, playing Dehaka. Over on the right side, Cure on Hanzo. We got Copenhagen on Blaze, Captain Rex with Rhaegar, and Bad Benny with Varian plus Dynouh on Tracer. So, let's go. We have a Shade on level 1. We got also the Portal Mastery right here. And I'm mega interested to see who takes this. Both have lost. Both are not happy with that loss, I can guarantee you that much. And now the chance to at least get one win. Because if you're not able to lock in a win here, then you are in for a very, very rough round robin. You could argue that Team Sven at least was able to push their series to the third map, whereas Team Dynouh lost without taking even one. But this is where the entire deck gets reshuffled, and we're gonna have some opportunities once again. So, at this point, we're having all the way up towards the top lane. Sylvanas pushing a little bit, the Haka is saying hello. Dynouh is also now rotating around, obviously interested to use Tracer to just attack some of these a little bit quicker. Sven is already getting targeted at the top lane. If you're a side laner and you're getting pushed by this, then yeah. By now we have also down at the bottom of the map just Cure sitting tight, camps from both sides getting attacked. So after that early game aggression and a few attempts to maybe get some kills in on the side lane, surprise somebody and gang up on them, they're now more interested in getting those mercenary camps towards the top lane and get some additional lane pressure with that. So down at the bottom of the map, we have Captain Rex and Cure currently sitting tight. As they are immediately taking the Siege Giants. But Zul is going to be rotating around a lot. That's, by the way, an absolutely disgusting mount and hero combo. The Zebra, really? That's what you're going for? Alright. Zebra Zul is in the game. Okay, I can't really understand what exactly triggers that combo in your head. Oh, nice. Fantastic lick on Hanzo. But able to get out. So, Tracer gets caught for just a second, but yeah, not suffering too much damage here. Up at the top though, it seems like we're going to get our first kill. Banana H is in trouble. Lucio, oh, he's actually going to get away, isn't he? Lucio, run baby, run! And Tracer wants to kill, and they can't get it, but they got close. And Sylvanas thought, maybe I can say hello to Bad Benny and kill him. But they retake the shrine, they deny the Dragon Knight that the blue team was already able to, or well, ready to get in the middle. But now it's actually the red team that is applying the pressure here. With Cure going up against Cesar and losing control over the bottom shrine. And jumping towards the middle again. Zul in trouble. And he gets out. And they're all fighting for that first kill. Everybody is super eager to get a good start into the game and show the opponent how it's done. Cesar on Medivh by now with 13 stacks, of course. We have the rotation coming down. Font obviously by now also ready. So if he gets a lock-in on someone like Lucio, that could be a kill. And all the way up at the top, there is Dehaka. Yeah, whereas we're having Captain Rex using his lightning shield in the middle. That's the nice thing about Rhaegar, obviously, that you always have that as a tool. Hanzo got killed, and that's the first blood. Zul actually the one to take him down. And they have the level 7 talent and can now start to also follow up maybe with a Siege Giant push at the bottom of the map. A few more stacks for Medivh as well. Can possibly set up another portal play here. As we have Zul moving towards the middle in an attempt to grab the Dragon Knight, but Varian is there. Yeah, he's going up against Mr. Pale and Pastry. Oh, that was close. They get the lock, they want the kill, and yeah, I'm not so sure if they can get... They can get the Dragon Knight if they would just move in for it. They decided not to go for the DK and instead went for the kill. I am not so sure what I think about this. I just get the Dragon Knight at that moment. Getting the kill is nice, don't get me wrong. You have 2 kills to 0 now. But that was an easy DK after they started to push him back. Now they're picking up another kill. They're going for Q now. And are able to take him out. Copenhagen falls too. So the game is starting off incredibly well for Team Sven. They have 4 kills to 0. And they're still in a position where they have a chance to get the Dragon Knight. But yeah, earlier, chasing those early game kills is usually not doing that much for you. This is working well on the other side. They are looking at level advantage, mad value at the top lane too, and the Dragon Knight now. Oof. Dynouh's team is getting a bit rolled here. If you look at the player names on the red team side, you would not think that they are going to struggle here at all. But I gotta say, they are having a very, very tough time on this. A fort destroyed 5 minutes in, and then an active Dragon Knight with level 10 advantage as they are pushing for more structures. That's wild. I mean, I'm sorry, but that is just wild. And yeah, there's nothing that the red team can do about it now, except for wait for their own level 10 abilities. Literally only play. Get to level 10 and then try to claw your way back. Which is 100% possible, but this is some early game disaster now. So with that, we have Benny, a bit low, but he survives. But we have the towers destroyed at the bottom of the map as well. So yeah, it's getting really difficult for them to get a foothold here. Level 10 finally kicks in, so now they can defend. Tio was probably already looking for an arrow angle and couldn't find it here. But then on top of that, we now have in the middle the attack against the fort. That has yielded some results too. Quest completed for Zul. Medivh nearly done with his as well. He's 9 short of completing it. 13,000 damage of Sylvanas. It's not really a whole lot. Tracer is at 16,000. She's also not mega excelling in the damage numbers or anything of the sorts. But they're getting at least something out of this. Medivh sniffs this out. Team tries to rotate over in time. Might just have the chance. Leyline is in. Are they going to try and steal this? Yes, but I don't think they can. They're moving out now, and the camp is about to be claimed. But who takes it? Red team makes the play and loses the Siege Giants, who immediately start to fight for the blue team. Now the red team is kind of caught here, trying to make a move. Dropping a little bit low, but still relying on the bunker as well. And the Siege Giants are being taken out as everybody just disengages. Nobody died. Absolutely nobody in that fight got crushed. So, yeah, thought we would at least see a few fall. 3 more stacks for Medivh, and he's done with the quest. Feels like, I mean, again, they're behind, but it feels like at least that last fight was a bit better coordinated by them, by the red team. Technically speaking, coming into this and just looking at the teams, Dynouh's team was honestly a bit of a favorite here. So, them having such a tough time is interesting. Level 13 talents already, that gives us also the amplified damage. That's pretty much the first thing that we get. There's another chance for Dragon Knight. Which you don't care about, they're like, no, mercenary camps. Do we rotate somebody into the middle? No. Go for the camp. Okay, sir. So, yeah. Tracer at the top. They still have a few in the middle, but they are retaking the control of the top. And that leaves the bot lane a little bit exposed, and this fort in a lot of trouble, so everybody rotated away from it. Not quite sure if they didn't realize that it was taken, or if they just thought that they could go back down in time to defend properly. But if they thought that, then they are now quickly proven different, because this is likely going to cost them the fort. And if not, it's got, yeah, the fort is down. The fort is gone. So the fort is eliminated. That's the second one that has now fallen. And the third one, as I said earlier, is so low that it should easily be annihilated. And they're also getting a Dragon Knight now together with that. There was a level 13 advantage that played a role in some of the decision making as well. But this is still bad. Quest completed for Medivh. So that's a huge step forward also for the blue team. And they're looking really good. Right now, they can just play this slow with the Dragon Knight, get the fort in the middle, for example, push the rest of the lanes out. But that means no fountain any longer anywhere in the middle. So that's big. And with that, there's of course the next attack here coming. The structure gets destroyed. We're only 9.5 minutes in, so it's not like the Dragon Knight has massively scaled into the late game and can now take out some structures with a hit or two. That's not a thing. But yeah, down here, Benny using all of his AoE. All of that wave clear to take on the minion wave as the rest of the team is working with the Siege Giants. It's gonna be tough for Tracer to get... Oh! Yeah, if they can kill Medivh, that would be a different story. But I was about to say, it's gonna be tough for Tracer to make big plays, considering that Medivh's shield is a huge obstacle for her to go through. Very nice Skeleton Mages, but then also a fantastic follow-up here. The bunker preventing the worst from happening, and then they immediately try to jump in on that as well. Sylvanas, maybe a bit low now, tries to get away here, but the rest of the team is moving in from behind. Sylvanas is gone. Finally a kill. 2 kills for the red team. Finally they're getting a couple of kills here, but the battle is not over. Now Dehaka is gone, and that's 3 kills to 1. They want a few more. They want Lucio, but the taunt hits Zul, and he at least is able to move away. So yeah, that one was big. Getting Sylvanas killed first and then following it up with another 2. That was super important now. Finally a bit of a step back into the game for Team Dynouh after they had a really tough time with all of this. Zul excelling in his role at this point, is doing okay. We got Weaken now on his level 16. The talent advantage and the leading experience has basically disappeared. We have Team Dynouh with their own level 16 now. They have lost still all of those structures, and that's a problem, but they will be able to... Well, they should be able to make up for it. I mean, look at the experience gains right now, and there's an advantage in minion experience for Team Dynouh. The passive experience, that's obviously where Team Sven is now going to make big leaps as this continues. So they will still pull ahead here, but at least it brought Team Dynouh back into an area where they can do a few things. So yeah, Nazeebo on his Nazibra. And as he rides into battle, still a wild combo in my eyes, but yeah, as he rides into battle, the Siege Giant this time were taken by the red team, so now they have a shot to get some extra damage done here on the fort itself. There's the taunt, nice, the arrow missing completely. Medivh just saving the day with another ley line, with another shield, and now they're in the choke point, and this could possibly be exploited. But Dehaka has, for example, decided that he's not going to join the battle. Instead, he's just going to push the top lane out a bit further and make sure they maintain control of the top shrine. So far, so good. Yeah, jet propulsion, Lucio, and Medivh to save the day. Cesarbos is making huge plays for them right now. They get a kill, they take Hanzo out. Oh, and everybody's low right now. Everybody's low on the bunker. Varian in particular. They want the kill there, get it with ease. Now they go for Rega, and that is another follow-up. So that is 3 down, and they go for number 4. Yeah, it's a nightmare for Team Dynouh. They lost the previous series without taking a single map, and now they are just eating dirt. So, as is, we have the top lane wall opened up, so the keep is wide open. They can go through the bottom of the map as well. The red team is 2 levels behind, still destroyed here, and that Dragon Knight together with Siege Giants is going to do some work. 40,000 damage on Sylvanas, 37,000 on Tracer, and mad momentum right now for Team Sven. Level 20, in reach, and we're early. We're early in the game, guys. We're like 1-3-3-7. Super early in this game. Here comes the level 20 any moment now. And I'm not sure if they can end this because we're still super early and death timers are low. Plus Dragon Knight is not that big yet. But yeah, now Lucio is dead. But they should be able to do a little bit of damage. So they try and go for Bad Benny. Dragon Knight working on that shield. Siege Giants are there. Yeah, well, did they get any damage actually? Not so sure anymore. It's still at 100%. Nobody has scratched it, not even the Siege Giants, and now they're losing Zul. I mean, if you're even dying already, at least go in and scratch that core, make your mark. But that is the end of Zul, Dehaka, and Lucio. They got the keep, but they got nothing else. And, well, they found them. And now we have them push through the bottom of the map, the red team, trying to bring this back. And it's going to at least cost the blue team a fort. At a minimum. So, yeah, 1 fort is gone. They're going to try for 2. That is actually a lot of value. Damn. That is a lot of value. You win 1 fight, take 3 heroes out, and you get 2 forts as a result. That is big. And of course level 20. There was a 2 level gap between the teams. That's closed. Level 20 talents on both sides in 10 seconds. So, yeah. The advantage still goes, of course, to the blue team, but they're not nearly as far ahead anymore as they were just a few minutes ago. But, well, Dehaka, still as the only global on the map, is moving at the top. And starting to do his thing here. Dragon Knight is coming up again. Dehaka, by the way, with the Apex Predator. So, we'll see how much he's going to use that. Yeah, Portal, Leyline. Did they get him? They have 3. Number 4 comes in. There's the damage. Blaze, arrow from Hanzo. And no, he's dead. He's dead. He's dead. Varian is dead. Lucio gets jumped, survives, and that's the end of Tracer. Yep, they went aggressive, and that might have just lost them the game. But Dragon Knight is up. They could go for the decay. They could go also simply for the core if they think they have an opportunity here. Hanzo wants to make a move, but Cure gets caught, gets killed, and that is that. Now the chance to go for the first victory in this series. Another portal has already been set up. They're going for the core here. Need to dodge some of the shots on the keep, and then they should be fine. The Lick and the Leyline. Leyline is in as well. Buys him a little bit more time. There's the focus on Blaze once again, but the shield is falling, and this is looking spectacular for Team Sven. Dynouh's team is in trouble. This is the 3rd map in a row now that they're losing, and this is absolutely not good news for the team. They need to step it up, or they will have a very tough time making it through the round robin phase towards the playoffs. Great job by Team Sven, though, and a well-deserved victory in game number 1 here on Dragonshire. GG. We're going to head straight into game number 2, but before we do, once again, guys, if you enjoy the coverage on the channel here, if you enjoy the match, please like and subscribe. Subscribe to the channel, like the video. It also helps to boost the game to an even wider audience. And of course, it helps to get people back into Heroes of the Storm, as the algorithm recommends the videos to people that were interested in Heroes of the Storm in the past. So again, before we continue, if you haven't done it yet, subscribe to the channel and like the video. Appreciate it. And with that, we're heading straight into the second map of the series. I think it's fair to say that Dynouh's team is starting to struggle a bit. So there's we're very early in the tournament, right? It's day 1. And most of the teams, or some of the teams, play 2 matches today. You can always find more synergy and like practice a little bit more and see if you can maybe solve your problems that way. But currently the red team is struggling. Now, this doesn't mean that they're losing the series here. They can still now, for example, come back and win 2 in a row, and all of a sudden it's Sven's team that has the real big problem on their hand. But it doesn't change the fact that 3 maps in a row were now lost by Team Dynouh. And Sven was at least able to win 2 maps now in total. They might have lost 1 series, but at least they secured 1 map, and now they're in the lead here. So this is match point, and they chose the map. Team Sven did, because Dynouh's team decided that they want to have first pick, first ban. So yeah, I gotta say that just when you're looking at the names, what we're seeing on the red team side, I would have put them up very high in the ranking for this event. But it's just not flowing together for them, is it now? So Towers of Doom is our second map. We'll see who takes it here. By now we have Chromie banned out and Sergeant Hammer gotten rid of too. Maiev banned as well. Quick reminder, all the heroes are still available, so pick whatever you want here. But yeah, Dynouh could have a tough time. Also, again guys, if you're currently watching this on YouTube, make sure that you also hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet. Especially the sub part would actually be pretty sweet. But as I said, we have had multiple people now that have said that they randomly got matches recommended in their YouTube feed and have now re-engaged with Heroes again. Not only as a viewer, but some of them also installing the game again. And honestly, those are the cool comments. I talked about this in the past, but if you are doing content, whatever it may be, it's psychologically obviously already known. The good comments, you read them, you notice them, but it's really the negative ones that oftentimes stick with you. It's just human nature. And it's a big problem that essentially everybody that uploads anything publicly deals with. But I think some of the comments that really stick with me the most so far are the ones where people are saying like, hey, I've stumbled on this randomly and I've actually played the game again. I'm playing like ARAMs or whatnot, and it's lots of fun. So that actually is pretty awesome to get as a feedback. It's also pretty awesome that we're getting Vikings in the game. So yeah, Vikings on Towers of Doom. So big picks. And well, yeah, if you want to help promote some of these games a little bit more, hit that like button, as I said before. But Vikings for Sven, that was something that got previously banned against them in other series. So now we have it here. We get Blaze as our first pick, or half on the side of Team Dynouh. And now Tracer and Malfurion. Where have I seen this before? Where have I seen this? I can't really put my finger on it, but part of this draft looks very familiar. So, yeah. And again, the Vikings now. So is Team Sven able to make that work with Vikings? Are we going to be able to pull that off? Would be kind of nice. I mean, again, I like myself the occasional Viking game. Tyrael gets banned. Yeah? Shutting Tyrael down. Tyrael, obviously, together with Malfurion, really, really good for Tracer. You have the overheal, you have the shield, then you have Blaze with the bunker. Tyrael can also go Sanctification if you want to. If you want to be more aggressive, you go for Judgment. So there's a lot of things that you can do with him. So I kind of like that as a ban. And then they get rid of Medivh. That doesn't really surprise me in the slightest. Medivh had a massive impact on why the blue team was able to win on the last map. So yeah, there's that. And what is the blue team now going to do? They want a strong four-man. You have Vikings, you want a strong four-man. That's what it is. If you have 4 heroes, can push a lane down while the Vikings are soaking the other 2, you are in a great spot. They go for Johanna, and they get Sylvanas, so this already secures yourself a lot of push power here. One of my favorite duos or trios is the Lucio Sylvanas Greymane. If you get that on any lane and can somehow bite like 10-20 seconds, lanes disappear. Absolutely disappear. So, we'll see. Don't think that's necessarily going to be the last pick, but yeah, it can be kind of fun. Either way. Final picks, Li Ming and Diablo. So, a little bit more burst damage from Q on his Li Ming, and then we get Diablo for that beefy front line that they try to play. Leaves us, of course, with Azzy. Damage is needed. Sylvanas alone is not going to cut it for you. Could go for another melee. Doubt a little bit. What's going to be the damage dealer for them here, in addition to what Sylvanas brings to the table? They have Sven to soak the side lanes, to interrupt any kind of channel on altar and maybe get altars themselves. But the final choice for Team Sven is Greymane. There it is, as explained earlier. Now, if they can really buy some time for Lucio, Sylvanas, Greymane to move on to lanes, that would be sick. They should be able to really pressure Bell Towers. Either way, second map of the series, once again. That is match point number 1 for Team Sven, so let's go straight to Towers of Doom. The blue team is in the lead. They have taken the victory on Dragonshire, and now they're hoping to close the series out on Towers of Doom. Sven is playing the Vikings. Uki on Johanna. We get Banana H on Lucio. Cesabos with Sylvanas, and Azzy with Greymane. As over on the right side of the map, Team Dynouh has to somehow try to bring this one back. Captain Rex on Malfurion. We get Bad Benny on Diablo. Copenhagen on Blaze, Cure on Li Ming, and then Dynouh is playing Tracer for the team once again. Not something that Team Sven thought worthy of banning out. Level 1, we now have Olaf the Stout. So, yeah, I have that pretty much as the standard lately. Adrenaline Stim Pack. Bit of damage here from Li Ming, but I really want to see if the... Oh, the wall's done, Lucio. Yeah, he makes it, but oof, close call. As I said before, Lucio speeds up your rotation, and one of the goals for the team can be, not necessarily right now, but later on, to try and get, with the help of Lucio, anybody quickly on... Not anybody. Sylvanas, that's a kill. Malfurion is gone. Bye-bye. He is gone.
And we say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
If you are able to get with Lucio and the speed, Sylvanas and Greymane onto structures, any second that you can buy those two is going to be worth it. If, for example, Jojo stays behind a little bit, anchors the play at the side, slows down whoever comes in, maybe uses her shield glare to just simply, you know, drop somebody off a mount. But if you can make those moves, then you are going to get a lot of structural value just out of those two. It's an absolutely fantastic combo, and yeah, you can run circles around opponents. I don't know if it's necessarily the case when you're playing on something like Towers of Doom, but when we're talking about other maps, especially bigger maps, you can really out-rotate opponents fairly quickly. So they're also stealing the camp away here, which is working quite nicely for them. So in this case, nobody even made a move for it. They just like went in and took it. And that results in some of the towers now taken. Pumpkin's still a little bit griefing over here. But yeah, that's the wall destroyed. The wall is already gone. And bam, there's the connect with the bell tower already. So, off to a pretty decent start here. Got the kill, open the wall up. And Team Sven with momentum. Yeah, Team Dynouh, some problems. Couple of issues here. But right now, still something that you can salvage. Still salvageable. If they, on the other hand, lose this series, then they have some issues. Now, okay, let's be honest here for just a sec. We have 6 teams, right? So you play 5 games in the round robin, essentially. If you lose your first 2, that leaves 3. And you will have to probably win all 3 in order to make it. But you still have a chance. You're not out yet. So there's no team here today that will already be out of the round robin and won't be able to make it. Someone who doesn't make it, though, is Li Ming. So Li Ming gets killed. I love how that little ball over here also rolls over. I don't think I've ever consciously seen that. They're chasing a couple of Vikings at the top. Could still be interrupts. And this, by the way, is what I talked about earlier. So look how quickly they're chunking this down. So they won't be able to get the entire thing. But just them playing this out a little bit is already dropping it now to... well, they're actually going to get the entire thing. I was about to say, even just buying a couple of seconds drops it down to half HP. But with Diablo appearing, they still were able to claim it. So now the first altar has already been channeled. Dynouh is trying to get the one at the top and is getting interrupted. So they're buying some time. Over here, they can channel this one easily, I suppose. And this is exactly the problem. So now you have a tool in your tool belt that can, A, control the map and the macro, channel those altars, and then you have another asset that allows you to very quickly take structures down. So we have them with 5-2-3. And the value of the Vikings is, of course, not only the leech of the 2 lanes, but more so that you can interrupt this many channels on the objective. This is a bit annoying, on the other hand. Not being able to get this is a problem. Now, they are buying time for Greymane at the bottom of the map to get one camp after another. Sylvanas claimed one, Greymane is now taking the next. So if nobody reacts, that's 6 shots fired. And that's one of the reasons why the red team is now starting to slowly move back. But the Vikings are channeling. They are pushing this farther forward. That's 5 shots fired. So in total, 9 shots against Team Dynouh. And they might even have an opportunity to get a few of the pumpkins too. So, yeah. This is a lot of pressure against Team Dynouh. So, yeah, pumpkins are making it slowly in. No, maybe not. They're just barely able to stop them. Push them back. 2 shots fired. Do they get more? And the answer is yes, they do. 28. They already have a 10-point lead, essentially. So, yep. And they have, of course, also a level advantage, which now leads to an early level 10. This is starting... Well, this is not starting. This is getting more and more tricky. It was already a problem when game number 1 started to spiral out of control for Team Dynouh. But now the situation is just gonna... It's just getting worse. Lots of freedom on the map for the blue team. They're in a great spot. They have level 10 abilities too. But just the fact alone that they are now in a spot where they can easily just roam around, take the pumpkins away from the opponent, control the bottom bell tower, and just do essentially whatever they want is fantastic. Good kill though. Good kill against Greymane. So this is what we need to see more of. Dynouh moving up, helping out, trying to take down Greymane, and then in the same move also applying more pressure to that bell tower. So they lost the bot lane very quickly, but now they have a chance to take a bell tower at the top and make this a 4 versus 4 situation again. Level 10 on both sides. This time we get Apocalypse. And it's a single altar at the bottom of the map. A little bit surprised that we don't have one of the Vikings here, but Eric is now moving in. Apoc used and just zoned, nothing else. Eric is already starting the channel. Do they interrupt? Do they notice? Nope, that's a channel. They get the shots, but what about the fight? 5 shots fired, and Li Ming is dead. No resets, and she's gone. And the core is at 23 points for Team Dynouh. They will likely be able to now retake this. I actually scratched that because the cavalry is coming. Oh, this is such a tough one now for Dynouh and his team. They are really in trouble. It's not only the fact that if they lose here, they haven't won a single match. If they lose right now, that means that they haven't won a map. So, yeah. Bad signs for them. I honestly would not mind a third map here. I would absolutely love for Dynouh's team to be able to make a comeback and force game number 3. Bring this to the final map. Make Sven work for it. But currently, it's still that leading experience. 3 kills to 3. Bell tower, yes, at the bottom, will be taken. And are they going for the boss, or what's the target now for the blue team? They actually want Blaze. They're gonna try and take Blaze down, I think. Yeah, but he escapes. Yeah, Blaze is able to get away. So, they're taking a couple more camps. There's a double altar at the top. Li Ming is gonna try and retake the bot lane. There's nobody really stopping her, so this should be a freebie. Can maybe delay this? But no, not by much. Not enough to have an impact on Li Ming's rotation, really. So, right here, level 13 talents are in. Blue team can channel with the Vikings immediately. The level 13 talents will now also have the unfettered assault. And the red team, I suppose, is still a trade. But Tracer, they're getting a little bit sneaky here. Sylvanas is back at the bottom of the map. 4 shots are being fired. Sylvanas seems to be willing to retake this and not join the team to get the top left. So they need interrupt tools available, which means the Vikings will be freed up to try and interrupt those as best as they can. There's also Jojo, so 1 interrupt. Eric is going to provide the next. Jojo's going to stick around. And Greymane and Sylvanas have successfully retaken the bell tower at the bottom of the map. This is exactly what I said when we talked about the draft and this combo between Sylvanas, Greymane. Lucio is then the cherry on top of it, just simply because he can speed everybody up. But now they have that combo here and can make another move. The interrupt against Malfurion still comes through. Good for them. And now they can start to fight. Now they have everybody up here that they need. Can they win the battle, though? Olaf is coming in from behind. Doesn't have his stun yet on 16. Bunker is out. Azzy, a little bit low. Apocalypse. Sylvanas dodges it. And it's Lucio that dies. And then Sylvanas falls too as Li Ming gets the resets and comes in for the big kills. Jojo moves out, but that is a channel for Team Dynouh. Nice. It's only gonna... Well, actually, they have the top left altar bell tower now taken. So that means we have 4 shots fired. 29 to 23. Good move. Yeah, Dynouh and his team, they're going straight up for the boss. So, nice place by them. And this is the way how you can bring that game back. 4 more shots fired. At the top, they want to retake. And obviously, they are just crushing structures. It's ridiculous. They should also take it, to be honest, but it's the hero archer. Nope, it's not the hero archer. I guess the next minion wave is going to take it anyways, but yeah. That's a little bit lazy. Get that last hit connected. Come on. So, right now, we got more pumpkins. We have currently also 20,000 damage for Greymane. 32,000 for Dynouh's Tracer. zipping around everywhere. Oh, Sylvanas stopping them. Stopping the pumpkins. Not a single one makes it in. And yeah, that sucks. That hurts. They have the level 16 talents, and that's, of course, where the Vikings are also starting to become way more important. Olaf's Largen in charge is a massive tool to be used in big team fights. That stun is worth a lot. And Eric is now pushing the top out, so with the altar spawning, it's a single altar, actually. We have the top bell tower about to be retaken, so they're going to grab this one quickly. And right now, yeah, attack still up here. Eric is going to retake, and that is now a 5 versus 3 situation as they are already in position around the next altar. Yeah, both teams on level 16. This is the fight that you can definitely go for. And what can the blue team accomplish here? They have only the access through the middle. They can't go through the bottom because of the bell tower there. At least they shouldn't. They can technically go through that side path. But Sylvanas makes it out. That was spicy. It seems like Yuki is not going to make it. Yep, that's a kill. And Team Dynouh is stepping it up. I like it. Team Dynouh is stepping it up big time, and this is starting to become way more of an even match than we had previously. So despite the fact that structure after structure is taken from Team Sven, there's another 3 shots fired, and that puts us now, the first time, into a position where the red team is ahead, at least in core points, of the blue team. That comes because they took the boss earlier, but that is starting to look way, way better for them. So, nicely done. And for Team Sven, after an amazing start into the game, it starts to look a bit more difficult. So, yeah, we'll see how they're doing here. But for now, tricky. I mean, yeah, I want to be taken again. You need to get into those team fights, and you need to make sure that the Vikings are actually doing some work here. Especially Olaf. Get that stun, sync up with the rest of the team, and make a play there. But it's the top that gets attacked again. Sven about to lose Olaf, Belog, and that bell tower is also gone. But it's going to be an even trade. They have Sylvanas again at the bottom of the map. Greymin is already coming in. So this is the moment where they're going to retake this one easily. And the advantage, of course, is still that at the bottom of the map you have 2 pumpkin camps. At the top you have only 1. So if you control the bot lane, you technically have more potential to really get aggressive here. It's also altars like this that are very hard to control if you don't have access through the sides. Which means that this is a great spot for them to establish some control here. There's currently... Is Blaze coming down? There's 6 pumpkins. Yes, Blaze is moving down. That's 6 pumpkins right now that could make it through, but Blaze is going to defend this. The Vikings not channeling. Yeah, Eric, what are you doing? First of all, Sylvanas is doing work, but that's going to be a lot that's getting taken out here. 4 shots already fired. The fight at the top. Now 1 altar channel at the top left, 1 at the bottom right. They're going to get all of these connected. 15 points to 18. Sylvanas is able to get 1 pumpkin through at the bot lane push, and that means that the blue team is now ahead by 4 points again. That's 1 boss. 1 boss or 1 altar channel at even bell towers. It's close. It is a close game. 31,000 damage for Greymin. 48,000 for Tracer. So Tracer high up there. But the level 20 talents are going to kick in a little bit faster for Team Sven. But not by much. And more Vikings are being taken out. Poor Belog. Gets killed time and time again here. I think they could easily now move into the middle. If the red team is willing to sit this deep at the top lane, take that bell tower in the middle. That's exactly what they're going for now. So they have this down to 50% as Blaze appears. But again, that's free 50% off that bell tower. So you win a team fight later on. You can take this one with ease. Level 20 talents on both sides now. And they go for the boss. They want to close that gap. They've actually have it down to like 15. They escorted pumpkins through the top lane. They let the boss go, but the bell tower is already gone. What about the fight though? If they can get kills now, and they can, they take Lucio down. If they can get the kills, then this might just have been worth it after all. There's an altar spawning at the bottom of the map. Vikings are getting destroyed, and they should be able to get that altar at the bot lane. It's 5 bell towers to 3. Maybe they can retake something first. Greymane is at the top, and he will reclaim this one too. Sylvanas is moving in as well. Oh, and it's a double altar. It's not even a single altar. We have a double right now. So this is potentially, if they take it right now, 6 shots fired. But they, of course, want more. I'm just not sure if they can. But, yeah, instead, they're making a play for the boss. So Diablo is trying to rotate up, but he runs into the Vikings. That slows him down a little bit. So here's the boss taken. 4 shots fired. 10 points against 8 is what we're going to see. In favor of Team Dynouh. 9 kills to 3. On the kill count alone, Dynouh's team is just crushing it. Now they're going to take the top lane bell tower back, of course. Vikings are already pushing for this. They got Balog there. He's going to have no problem with it. Down here, though, the team fight continues. And a couple of more pumpkins are also being locked in. So, it's getting really interesting here. Yeah, towards the end of the game, it's getting massively spicy. We have now 3 kills to 9. Belter at the top is taken. That gives us a 5 versus 3 situation in favor of Team Sven. And now they're trying to flank with Olaf. Against Diablo. Yeah, not the target that I would have gone for here. So they push the pumpkins back. No damage done through them. But it's been a while. Like we haven't really seen a whole lot of heroes on the red team die. So Vikings are still pushing at the top a bit. We have a top left, top right bell tower exchange coming up next. So no triple, just top left, top right. That's going to be the next one. Blaze is retaking in the middle with the help of the minion wave. And the red team is still keeping the opponent at bay. Blessed Shield and Malfurion. Nice. Yeah, Tracer surviving thanks to Malfurion. First the stun from Olaf. And then, of course, the Blessed Shield, which is now on a 50-second cooldown still. Should be ready at some point during the fight for the altars at the top. But, yeah, I think this one is a free one for... I don't think they're fighting for all of them here. Olaf down, and the bunker. That one was clutch. That bunker was very, very close. If Copenhagen dies, then it's a bit of a nightmare. So Balog is currently rushing away. He can still go to the top left and take theirs. Then it's going to be single digits on both sides. Blaze, alright. First shots are fired. Still fighting this out, and the channel has happened. So, 4 points against 6. Oh boy, this is... 4 points against 6. 2.5 minutes on the boss now. But we could go to game 3. We could definitely go to game 3 now. 41,000 damage for Greymane. 66,000 for Tracer. So, yeah. Level 22. 19 minutes in. Vikings still pushing, but we need them for the big fights later on. Yeah, especially, of course, Olaf. So he needs to survive there. Especially since play, again, is still on cooldown. So Olaf is not somebody that you want to lose right now. But, yeah. We have Balog attacking the top bell tower, and he is getting damage in here. Yeah. Alright. Baits everybody over into a corner so he can do more damage here and doesn't have to fight in the middle of the bell tower range. So, great for the Vikings. That's going to apply a lot more pressure up at the top. And keep in mind, if they actually take that bell tower at the top, that altar at the bottom of the map is not going to be enough to end the game for Team Dynouh. So, that's one of the most important aspects right now. And they want this one, and they want it quickly. They're already moving in here. They're trying to take this, and they will. And then they can always go down with play again. So, bell tower is taken. Even if the altar gets channeled, they're still safe for now. But obviously, you want this one. You don't want to sit at one single point on your core. A pumpkin is going to make that play. So, right now, are they going to let... are they... It happened? What? What? Really? Oh, boy. 1.26? I mean, I don't want to say anything here, but at some point you gotta go for a fight. That might have been a bit of an awkward one, but what's the next one you're gonna take? because one single point on the core, holy hell, you are asking for it. I mean, you're cutting it really close here. Pumpkins at the top get escorted in. They try and go for Blaze. They can force the bunker, and they do. Bunker is out. Here comes the counter-attack immediately, and Lucio gets pushed around, pushed into the Apocalypse, and dies. That's the problem with diving in this deep to try and get a hold of somebody and then hope for the kill. Vikings are pushing the Pumpkins through at the top, but it's not going to be enough to win the game. And instead, they're now going for Diablo, and he is dead. Too much of an engage, and Li Ming gets murdered by the Vikings. They engage too aggressively into the bell tower range, and they paid the price. 3 Pumpkins made it through at the top, and now it's 1.23 on the core with Li Ming gone for 50 seconds. Until then, 4 versus 4, but the jet propulsion kill. Tracer is dead too. It's carnage. People are dying left, right, and center all over the place. Absolute fiesta play as we have the final altar spawn in 25 seconds. Greymane and Tracer will both be gone at the time, and we have a boss as well. Plenty of tools right now that the teams can use. No, Blaze, Copenhagen. If he dies, if he or Diablo dies, they're going to be dead. So right now, here come the moves. Bad Benny, low. They go for Olaf. The bunker is back, and oh my god, they're fighting tooth and nail for the position here. Sven is still sitting at the side. Benny's mega low. Li Ming is on her way back to the fight. Tracer in 40 seconds. Same for Greymane. They're already starting to isolate this a little bit. Blaze, again, no bunker. Has to come in back again. They go for Li Ming. Cure is dead. He gets hit by Sylvana's arrow, and then Jojo finishes the job. Cure is gone. If they don't get a counter kill, they are in so much trouble. They're trying on Jojo. She has no mana. Tracer says hello as well. But any channel could end the game here, of course. They're not going for a channel just yet. But Malfurion, and he gets interrupted. Diablo sitting on the side. It's insane. What is happening here? The back end of the game is absolutely bonkers. Sven is channeling, and they're not realizing it. Sven is sneaking it. Apocalypse is being used to interrupt, and now they go for Diablo. Belok is out. Diablo is dead, and he's dead for the entire duration. Diablo is gone. Dynouh is trying to win the video game for them. He can't. This is it. It is a full-on 5-man team wipe, as Team Dynouh loses without taking a single map, and Team Sven secures the victory on Towers of Doom. What a game. GG and well played.